All right, it's September 1st, 2024. And I'm with Mr. John J. Jeckovich, second reading today. And we're talking about his adventures back home. And we recently talked about he was working for Croisdale Sheet Metal as a teenager. And he fell off the roof 2.5 story. Thank God there was a lot of snow on the ground. Instead of the foreman coming running, I don't know.
What were these?
I have no idea. Instead of the foreman coming running down and saying, "Hey Johnny, how are you?" He said, "What did he tell you?"
Hey, get your ass up there.
Never asked you once if you're hurt.
Yeah.
Wow. How things would be different today. So we're talking about that, but we ran out of tape just a minute ago. Tell us the experience you're telling about at those chemical plants you worked at. Pick up that story again.
Well, Uncle Andy worked with all the chemical plants, put up ductwork, figuring out ductwork, the radius of them, and everything else.
Was he pretty good at that?
And he's good at third grade education, yeah.
So let me say this. A third grade education, he was able to go to all these plants in Niagara Falls and figure out a formula to make ductwork throughout the place.
They figured the radius, the diameter of the pipes was supposed to go in there and everything.
That's a lot of calculations.
Yeah.
It's a lot of calculations. Yeah. And so what happened? We keep on going about how it blew up in your face. Tell us how that happened. You said about do not start. I want to hear that story because we missed it.
Well, do not start was out there, but they pulled the tag off and started it up. They violated the tag.
And then what happened?
Well, the motor went off. And he got blasted in the face.
And you got blasted in the face.
Yeah.
And then, were you injured?
I got my eyebrows buried, some of my hair burned off, but that was it.
Were they concerned? Did they ask you how you're doing?
Who would concern me? The owner didn't concern me. He didn't even know nothing about it.
Well, Uncle Andy.
Well, actually, Andy wouldn't tell him.
And what did your mother say when he came all burned up, black?
She says, what did you do to yourself? She says, I said, well, she was as long as I come back alive.
You got a great sense of humor. Oh my God. As long as I come back alive. Holy shit. Okay, where the hell was I? Okay, here we go. Top of the page 475, docuseries 319. Okay, I was seriously considering returning to Croisdale, my former employer, before entering the service. Is Croisdale still in business?
It was for a couple of years after it, but when he passed away, they shut it down.
They shut it down.
Yeah, he didn't have any office space to do it.
Yeah, like a lot of small businesses.
Yeah.
I did not want to go back, and the only reason Mother was not making an issue about it was that she said about it was that she and Uncle Andy were not on speaking terms. So there you go again. Yeah. Your mom and Uncle Andy aren't speaking again.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what a hard way to go. When's the last time you seen your Uncle Andy?
Sitting on a creek, on the back of the creek on the Packard Road, on High Park, sitting there with his knees crossed. I said, I got to go and talk to him, and I didn't do it.
What was he, fishing or just sitting?
He was just sitting there.
Just looking at the creek?
Yeah, well, he had nothing to do.
And so what did he see you?
I didn't go there.
But he
thought he got a house, got off of Eli Avenue, bought a house, lived there 6 months and died.
Yeah, that's true. So let me just try to figure this out. Uncle Andy was just sitting there, taking in the creek, Gill Creek, and you seen him, but he didn't see you. You seen the back of him, and you were determined to go there and talk to him, but you never did.
No.
So that was the last time you seen him?
That was the last time. Because he moved out of Eli Avenue, moved to LaSalle. He moved to LaSalle.
Didn't he keep his houses immaculate?
Oh, he was clean. They ate down cellar.
Why did they eat down cellar? I know a lot of Polish and Italian people had that tradition.
That's what they did. Yeah.
Why do you think they ate in the cellar?
Because they don't want to like mess in the kitchen.
Oh, is that it? Yeah. Because I remember a lot of Polish people, Italian, and Greek people, they would eat in the cellar,
Yeah,
or they'd set up something in their garage. They didn't want to mess up the kitchen, right?
yeah.
I'll be damned. You learn something new every day. I'll be damned. Huh. All right, let's see what the hell I'm at again here. Okay, the reason why you didn't go back to Croysdale, it says right here in your book, that Uncle Andy, which is your mother's brother, and your mother weren't talking, so. I was adrift, and I felt...
He was upset that I didn't go back to him.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, because I said, hell, I'm not going to all those shit places again and that. And so I went to that stupid Kimberly Clark, which was a mistake.
Well, we're going to get to that. I was adrift. I felt helpless, and great feelings would fall over me like a cloud and hide the rays of enlightenment. I had no one to talk to relate my innermost thoughts. I missed the Army greatly. I longed for the excitement of combat and its environment. So you loved the combat. You loved the war. Yeah, most real men love war. They love fighting. Most real men like to be winners. Not today, where the mother's got her teenage kid at a track meet, and the damn kid comes in 17 and she's giving him a trophy and high-fiving him. No, don't give him a trophy. Don't high-five him. Straighten him out. Tell him to learn how to run, goddammit, and don't make a wimp out of him. Because if you make a wimp, now we'd have a generation of wimps. We'd have a generation of cowards. Let's just have a generation of fighters and winners. And you must remember, the man that can fight is the man that's right. End of story. I shared the responsibility of the role I played. Although minor, it gave me great satisfaction and a sense of accomplishment. It sure did. When there was no one else home during the day, I would sit on the couch and reminisce about the days during the Battle of the Bulge and how great those times were, even though they're filled with danger and hardship. After a few minutes, I remind myself that it was foolish and senseless to look back. I had to get my thoughts focused on the present and the future. Then I would discard my own advice and think of Renee. That's easy to do, Sitting in a warm, cozy kitchen with its roaring fire in the fireplace. I miss those times very much. Minutes?
22.
I miss those times. You want to put that back? I miss those times very much. And I wish that I might return once again to how my life was then. It's interesting when you would see Renee in Paris, when you were in the hospital 30 miles north of Paris, you were so damn determined to visit.
I met Renee. I was in the hospital. I took a walk outside in the back of the hospital. There was a big field out there, and I seen this little boy putting a sailboat in the water in the lake, playing around there something with her, and that was Renee.
So Renee was helping just a little boy.
Yeah.
Not related to them, just helping them.
She was probably watching them.
And then how did it go from there?
Well, we struck up a good relationship, and then I would go back there every day for a couple of days, and then we got to get familiar talking and that. And then when she lost that with the kid, and the family moved. So I said, well, what are you going to do now? I said, well, I don't know. So I kind of got hooked up with her.
Yeah. But what the point I was making, the determination you were to see Renee, was then you were transferred 30 miles north of Paris in a rehabilitation hospital, and you'd have to take a bus, a train, and then a taxi to see her. That was a lot of work.
I never had sex with Renee. I never had sex. I did a lot of smoking, but I never had sex with her. I wouldn't do it.
I was just talking about the transportation here. I don't want to get on that, but so that was a lot of.
They told me if you're going to have sex, make sure you're padded.
Oh God, I don't even know what that means. I don't know what that means. But anyways, you were very determined to see her, and tell us about Renee's background. It's very interesting.
Renee's?
Her background, what she started out and what she ended up being.
She was a good artist. And that's what she got those German officers coming in for the portrait. She would paint the picture naturally, she would take pictures of it. She painted.
Hand
And she was
painted.
real good at that.
She was an expert artist, primarily of portraits.
Yeah.
When you first went to her apartment, what did you see?
I see pictures of German officers all over.
SS?
I don't know if they're SS or not.
Do they look like SS?
They wouldn't be GIs Germans in there. There would be somebody had a little responsibility.
Officers.
Yeah, officers, yeah. Probably high-ranking officers.
And most of those guys had great big egos, so it makes sense. And why was she painting them?
Why was she painting them?
Yeah.
Well, that's what she did for a living. She was painting funerals and weddings for people like that too.
But getting back to the German officers, wasn't Renee also former nun and now in the French intelligence?
The what?
Wasn't she now in the French intelligence? Renee was in the French intelligence, the underground, the resistance.
She wasn't from the beginning, but she got into it. She's going to be a nun.
Well, she was in the convent, and what took place, she was cloistered at the convent.
Then she got out.
And then, well, she got out because she got word that the Germans were occupying Paris at the time. The Germans occupied Paris for 4 years, and then guys like you ran their asses out. They ran Hitler and his SS bastards out. And so while Renee was being cloistered in the Roman Catholic, as a Roman Catholic nun, she got word that her mother and father were
killed, their brothers too.
Brutally murdered, and her 2 brothers were brutally murdered by the cold-hearted SS.
Yeah.
So then she had second thoughts of her faith, which a lot of people do. Even the Pope at times second guesses his faith.
Yeah, but I don't believe she did that. It's not her nature. It's not her nature.
I don't know. I never met her, but it sounds like when she joined the French resistance, she was very angry of the Germans killing her family.
Yeah,
they wiped out her family. Did you go to the resistance headquarters with Renee?
Huh?
Did you go down and look at the resistance headquarters with Renee?
Yeah.
And what was that like?
Shithole down there, down in the cellar.
Why would
That was a burial ground for the civilians up there, yeah.
And so anyways, I started off with a story that you would have to take a bus, a train, and then a taxi cab to see Renee. And finally the time was up, and the Army said if your index finger will work and you can still work your heavy machine gun, and you can walk somewhat, you're fit for duty.
Yeah, so they took me out of Belgium and put me in Europe.
Yeah, so you're fit for duty. So that was basically the last time you'd see Renee, and you went back to the front lines. And then what happened to Renee?
What happened to Renee? They found out she was informed for the Allies, and they killed her.
So that was her end.
That was her end, yeah.
Sad to hear. You
Took her out in
survived.
the woods and shot her in the head.
Yeah, you survived, but poor Renee didn't. Well, that's what I just wanted to add. What you think?
Down there.
What's down there,
What's he doing?
Jen? What's going on here?
I don't know.
What are you seeing? Something?
Look down there. See him? Yeah, see him? Hey, what's he doing? Play with the trees or what? Oh, he's behind that window.
All right. As long as they don't bother you, we're fine.
Yeah, well.
As long as you don't bother you, we're fine. Okay, let's see. Okay. Let's see.
There he is. He's on the right-hand side.
Let it go.
He's behind that window.
All right, here we go. Let me pick it up here. We're running out of minutes.
Yeah.
I think he's picking flowers.
I miss
There he
those.
is.
Yeah, I saw him.
I miss those times very much, and I wish to return to them once again. How my life was. Mother was to me about disturbances. I was creating by my recurring nightmares, with added to my perturbation. I felt awkward and resentful when she would reapproach me about it, especially when she would equate it with some sort of childish holdover or attention-getting device. So your nightmares were quite obvious and possibly loud, and your mother thought the nightmares you had from the war...
I didn't have that many nightmares. I had 1 or 2 a month or something.
Okay, but your mother said it was a childish holdover and attention-getting device.
Well,
That's what she said.
yeah.
I never told her what the nightmares were about, nor did she ever ask.
I didn't have that many nightmares.
All right, I'm just reading your book. I was alone most of the day and would start out in the morning making the rounds by bus. Here you are, you're on a bus again, looking for employment. By mid-afternoon, I would return home to wait for the onslaught by mother for her disgust with me for not finding some type of work. Oh, boy, that's amazing, huh? She would relate, and
What was he saying to Looky and Stevie?
What's that?
What did my mother say to Looky and Stevie?
I don't know, you tell me, I wasn't alive then.
Well, Looky was wandering around drunk and everything else. I was cleaning up his mess in the bedroom.
And she wouldn't push him for work?
Yeah, she didn't ask him for work.
Even though for
And Stevie was in school, so she didn't bother with him.
even though you sent your paycheck home to her for 4 years?
Yeah.
Did they send their paychecks home to your mother?
No. Allotment, you mean?
Yeah.
No, I sent her 75% of my pay home.
That's a lot of money, and I hope she was appreciative. She probably was. Did your 2 other brothers send their allotments home?
Huh?
Did your 2 other brothers send?
No.
No. Okay. Okay.
Look, he was spending it on drink.
Spending on booze.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. She would relate in no uncertain terms how she could not support everyone and still do all the household chores. Well, you were doing all the household chores. You were doing all the household
Yeah,
chores.
they didn't do them, no.
But you were. You're taking a job for your mother. She didn't have to do them anymore. You're back. I would listen to this daily, and she would sermonize on how difficult it was for her. My sister would not insert her opinion, but neither would she go against my mother and support me. After this daily outburst, they would return to the kitchen or the bedroom, or I would begin to receive the silent treatment the rest of the night. Now, that silent treatment you referred to in chapter 2 of your book, your mother would give your father the silent treatment for many weeks.
Well, we slept, my father had that Packard in the garage. My mother and I slept in that Packard every night, a lot of nights.
Explain that to me, I don't
Because my
understand.
mother didn't want to stay at home. She got a bug up her ass. We're sleeping here. We're going to the, Mom, where do we go? We're going to go. I sleep in the car. I said, you're crazy. Let's go.
Okay, so let me just try to understand this. Your mother would give your father the silent treatment,
Yeah.
and then your mother says, I don't even want to be in this house, so she would take
Yeah,
you.
that was the story all the time. They were all silent. They never hit anyone or nothing.
That'll work on you. And then she'd say to you, let's go in the garage in the Packard.
Yeah. I said, what the hell are we going to do? It's going to be cold in there. We'll take a blanket. Let's go.
Is that what you did?
Yeah.
How many nights did you do that for?
We'd say 2 or 3 nights to get tired of it. I said, well, let's get back home.
And did your
And then she
father?
wouldn't talk to my father for a while.
Did your father come looking
Well,
for?
my father and Stevie and Looky would eat separately than I.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
When we had supper, they ate separately. I ate with my brother.
So you and your mother ate at one sitting, and your Uncle Steve, your brother, and your father would eat at another.
Yeah. That's how they play that game.
Yeah, that's a hard way to go. That's not right. That's sad. But when you and your mother were sleeping in the Packard, didn't your father come looking?
Your father come looking for us?
Yeah.
No.
No? Huh. That's something.
Well, he knew we were in there. When the hell were we?
I know, but that's pretty damn cold. Sleeping
I
in
knew he wouldn't think I would drive that car someplace to drive away.
Yeah.
He knew I wouldn't do that.
Okay. Oh, brother, let's see. Let's see where I'm at. The next day would start all over again. With with the respite or emancipation. Okay, here's a good one. About the second or third month, I finally found a job at Weber Oil Company, install oil burners in the converted furnaces. That must have been a pretty good job.
Yeah, I hooked up, we started a business, me and that guy from Canada.
Yeah?
And we were doing good. Then he got a bug up in his ass, he got all the money we made and took off in Canada.
He went back to Canada,
Yeah,
so
never seen him after
he took
that.
all the funds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem with partners. It usually goes some say.
Yeah, they see all the money we were making. Yeah, I would do the firebox and the wiring, and he would put the grates in.
Did you eventually convert your own house over to oil?
We were burning coal, pea coal, but we turned from pea coal to
Oil.
Oil.
And you did that work yourself?
No, I wouldn't do that. No.
Who did the work at your mother's house? Weber?
That contractor.
Kustransky?
No. Kustransky he was a trucker.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's see what happens here. But it would at least the silenced mother and something to the income at home. So mother was happy now you're working at Weber Oil.
The what?
Your mother's happy now. She's not giving you any trouble because you're bringing income in right now from Weber Oil, right?
I was working for Weber Oil, but I was making that much money.
Okay.
And then we started a partnership up, and we were doing better then because we separated the work, and I would do this and he would do that.
Yeah.
And that went out for about 6 months, then he took off.
Yeah. It was hard, dirty work, and I thought it far worse than working for Croysdale. The cellars I worked in were usually damp and dirty, and the people were mostly lower income wage earners switching their coal furnaces to oil.
And they wouldn't pay.
They wouldn't pay.
They wouldn't pay.
You had the same trouble with your Polish paper route too, right?
What?
You had the same trouble with your Polish paper route. A lot of your people you delivered newspapers wouldn't pay, right?
Yeah.
Let's see.
150 Gino Lisinskis, and they wouldn't pay.
What did they say when you said, ma'am, can I have my
They
money?
said, I paid you last week. What are you trying to rob me, you Russian?
Did they at least offer you a Polish dinner?
Huh?
Did they at least offer you some?
No. Places smelling how they got the food they were cooking smell like hell. I thought they were roasting cats.
You have a great sense of humor, Mr. Jeckovich. Unbelievable. Holy shit. Okay, where the hell am I? I can't even figure out what page am I on. I knew it was 476. Let me pull it up. I don't want to miss anything here. Okay, now your mother's happy. You got a job, and mother was almost civil to me. She and Sally at times would include me in their conversations, something I have not been privileged to since being home. So mother and your sister would have conversations, but not add you in them.
No.
But once you start working, they start...
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They broke down, yeah.
I did not like the job, but said nothing to mother or Sally. I thought now about school since I could obtain educational benefits from my service-connected disability. Each time I would discount the school prospect, for it meant I would have to give up my job. I could hear the repercussions at home if that happened. Also, I had some doubts about my ability to handle a full-time school curriculum.
Oh, that's when my father died, too.
Yeah. My experience was limited in that aspect of it, so I'm naturally skeptical of my innate ability. I don't know, I think you got great ability. I got a nice book in front of me you wrote 900 pages on. That takes a great talent to do that.
What?
Concentration, you wrote 900-page book.
Yeah.
You wrote, that's a great accomplishment. Don't cut yourself short. Okay, let's see. While working one day in the basement, I met Red Schooner, an ex-Canadian Air Force veteran. After several meetings and much discussion, we decided to form a partnership. Okay, this is what you just got done telling
Yeah,
me.
he was a Canadian
Yeah.
pilot, yeah.
Did you see many Canadians in the war?
Huh?
Did you see many Canadians in the war?
No, not on my side, no.
No?
They didn't make Canadians and Americans. Americans saw out of one side, Canadians saw out of another sector.
Uh-huh. But it's interesting, we were talking about your contacts you had with Patton a few days ago. Most of the American soldiers were glad that the Battle of Bulge
Yeah.
was winding down. Patton says, let's get this Battle of Bulge over with because I need to get to the Pacific.
Yeah.
He was so determined. He goes,
He was a fighter. He was a fighter,
he
yeah.
says, I'm not going to let those son of a bitches in the Pacific take all the credit. I need to get there and get the credit.
Yeah.
He needs to get the credit.
Yeah,
Right?
those top echelon guys of the Army, they fight with one another who got the most credit.
And Patton was on the top of that list.
Yeah, top, big ego, big ego.
But he said, he was given orders by Eisenhower not to cross the Rhine like he did because he was short on supplies, was short on money. He just pushed through.
Well, no, they were trying to cross the Rhine, and they were trying to find a soft spot, a shallow spot. And Eisenhower, I was in a Jeep cowboy with him, and he stopped at the bank there, and he looked across and said, what's that son of a bitch doing over there?
He already made it over.
Yeah, he had it over, yeah.
And I remember that as a publicity stunt, when Patton got over to the other side, which everyone said it couldn't have been done, he got over to the other side, he had a publicity stunt. He had all the photographers come, and he took a piss right on the Rhine. He said, I want to piss on the Rhine.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's what he did.
That was a big publicity.
Pissed out of Rhine.
And that's exactly what he
published that. He published
That was all over.
They published it in the Army, though.
Yeah, but it's all over at the time.
Yeah.
Still, you can pick it up now.
Yeah, they were
So
all
what a
spotted
character
for it.
he was.
Huh?
What a character he was.
Who?
I said, what a character. But he said, even if you're wounded, you better fight. Don't be a coward and run off.
Yeah.
If you're wounded, you fight. Because we got to get this war over with.
Doesn't go to the Pacific.
Because I need to get to the Pacific. I'm not going to let no one take the credit for that.
Yeah.
He wanted to take the
I
credit.
didn't want to go to the Pacific.
Well, he wanted to go.
Oh, yeah. This thing was winding down.
He wanted to go. Okay, that was funny that you met him, you had to run in with him. Let's see. Okay, we were working one day in a dingy basement, and I met Red Schooner, an ex-Canadian Air Force veteran. After several meetings and discussions, we decided to form a partnership of selling and installing oil furnaces. It seemed like a well-planned out venture, but several weeks it dissolved after my partner absconded with the first real profit. Wow. You would think a Canadian Air Force veteran would
Yeah, he took off.
be straight as an arrow.
Yeah, well, he knew he could go back to Canada.
Can't get him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That left me without a job, and I was once again feeling the rancor of my mother's scorn. Minutes?
1 minute, 40 seconds.
What did this ex-Canadian Air Force veteran look like? Was he an older guy?
No, he was a couple, 2 years older than me, but he was a young guy. He was a combat guy.
Combat guy.
Yeah.
You thought he would have respect.
He was an officer in the Air Force.
Yeah, but you thought he would have respect, and officers have respect.
Yeah.
They wouldn't cheat anybody. He must just went the wrong way in order to...
He had some Canadian up there, Canadian woman over there. She's yakking about money.
Okay. Now I'm starting to see the picture. So after this Weber oil and converting the coal to oil furnaces, and your partner absconded to Canada with the money, what was next?
Yeah.
What did you do next?
Yeah.
What did you do next?
Well, I went to the Kidwood Park.
But did your mother know you were out of work when the Canadian thing?
Oh, yeah, I told her. I said, the guy took off. I told her, the guy took off.
And what was your mother's response?
She said, well, how come he did that? You must have been not doing a good job with him.
So she blamed you for a man stealing your money.
So what the hell?
She blamed you for a man stealing your money.
Yeah.
So how long was it after that you went to Kimberly-Clark?
Then I went to Kimberly Clark.
Yeah,
I went every week to the unemployment office, filled out the
10 seconds.
computer and that, and they had jobs, but I didn't want those stupid jobs they had.
I see,
Working in a stupid cellar and all that shit.
I see. So then you started at